component parts of Explanar are self-evident. You have the large hoop that is adjustable to your physical height and to the club that you're using. We also have a flat surface. This is called the plane fin, and it just ensures that when you swing back that you are in the plane that you require to be for the shot. At the start of the swing, the club is well below the swing plane, it climbs into the plane and it does so on the follow through. It's a complex thing to think about, so all you have to do is mix the shoulder turn, wrist turn, you go back and feel your way to the flat surface. That's over and that's under. So that's not just there to hold the Explanar brand name, it's there so that you know your backswing in particular is in plane. Now with the adjustable hoop and the plane fin comes the two power rollers, and we need two. You see, a driver's 44 inches to 45 inches long. That's great when you hit the ball a long way, but you can't simulate putting and chipping with a roller that's as long as a driver. You need a shorter power roller. So the long power roller simulates swings from driver to 5 iron length. Now, when you step into the Explanar, and I would do most of my long practice at the bottom of the grip in the long roller. That's like a 5 iron simulation. If I go to the top of the grip on the long roller, I move back in Explanar, I flatten the angle, and I'm basically rehearsing a driver swing. So there's the driver, down the handle, now I'm hitting 5 iron, and I have to adjust Explanar. Now to continue, I now need the short roller. So the short roller does some 6 iron. So I'll come forward, and you can see now at the top of the short roller, I'm now simulating a 5 iron swing. So again, Explanar would need to be built up. If I go to the bottom of the grip, I've now got a sand iron simulation. Look how much I'd have to bring the Explanar up to match that swing plane. So that's why you need two power rollers to do the full simulation. However, if you only have one roller, you can do most of your work with this from driver to 5 iron, and that will benefit your swing. Working on the short game, you need to add in the additional short power roller. Now we understand that the rollers are different length, we can just remind ourselves of the angle of the swing plane. So I've got the long power roller in my hand, and I do most of my practice at the bottom of the grip. This is going to give me like a 5 iron simulation. You can see that the swing plane is through my upper sternum. But I want to practice my driver, say. So I go up the handle, I've moved back in Explanar, the ball's between my feet. But look now at the difference of the plane of the 6 iron simulation compared to the driver. So just watch. Drop the machine down 6 or 7 degrees, and all of a sudden I'm going to have a flatter, longer swing. This is now a driver simulation. I just checked that I've got that absolutely bang on, which I have. So here we go. This is a driver simulation. I coil, I'm on the flat surface, I release, and getting onto the flat surface is a draw spin shot. If I load on the flat surface, the plane fin, and come through like this would be a fade because the forms haven't released. However, if I load onto the flat surface and come through onto the flat surface, then I get my draw spin and I get distance and control. Moving on now to the short roller. Top of the handle, 6 iron, 7 iron sort of simulation. Again, you can see how much I've got to build the angle of Explanar up to about there. Probably a bit much. I'm very used to doing this with my eye, but in the early stages, if you get yourself a wooden dowel rod or an aluminium tube, you can just set Explanar and it's a one-man job. Okay, so here we go. Top of the grip, 6 iron simulation. The swing won't be as long, but it will be more upright and more wristy. Finally, I've been Explanar up to one of its most upright settings. I go down the handle And now I've got a very short but very wristy swing. This is pitching. If you want to practice your putting stroke and your chipping, crank Explanar up to absolute max. It can't get any steeper. You can now use the short roller like a putter. A strong putting stroke, as we know, is a chipping stroke. So you can practice your chipper shots from here to here. That's a full chip. Beyond there is wrist hinge, and that's a forearm rotation. But when you're chipping, this Y shape stays constant. Most of your shots around the greens can be done without any wrist hinge. You absolutely need wrist hinge for pitching, bunker play and iron shots. When you're putting and chipping, however, wrist hinge is not required. You can hit lovely chip shots without any wrist hinge. Now when I say that, I'm not saying to you you must have stiff wrists. I'm just saying the wrists aren't being used. So don't mistake non-wristy for stiff-wristed. It's not the case. I may be non-wristy back and through, but there's no tension. Because if I get tense, I'm going to misjudge the strike and the distance I'm going to hold it. So there we are. One hoop adjustable to your body and the club that you're using. And by utilising the roller, driver to 5-iron, 6-iron to sand iron, you can practice everything you need. If you only have one roller, it's the long one that you want.